Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our maybe final episode of How to Design Your Next Career, episode 5, all about community. My name is Josh Levine. I am a company culture designer and instructor at the DMBA program at the California College of Art. With me, as always, is Justin Lokitz, who is also heavily invested in the DMBA program
Yeah.
and is my co-conspirator in this web series. Say hi, Justin.
Hi, everyone.
Fantastic. All right, so we are going to wrap up today our series with this episode all about community, which are the people that you bring around you that you need. You can't just it takes a village, and it takes a village to design your next career and to find your next job. So I'll hand it off to Justin, and we'll kind of
Cool.
bat it back and forth.
Absolutely. So, what I think is interesting is we sort of hinted at some of this in episode 3. We talked about this idea of optioneering or ideation, right? And while I think communities and your communities are going to play a part in all different places in your design of careers, for your current careers, future careers, whatever it may be, I think they really could play a strong part as part of that optioneering. If you bring people in early to help you create options, it's huge, right? You can maybe create lots of options. The key here is, and we've mentioned this now time and time again, I'm going to mention it again here, which is here we're not looking for solutions any longer, right? The future is about designing options, and it's the same for careers. You can't just design one thing. You should probably be designing many, many things, many options. And as part of that, and this is what we did certainly mention in episode 3 about optioneering, is you should co-create options. You have as much as you have in your brain, but often you can bring in other people, and what you'll end up getting are lots of other interesting options, or sometimes amalgamations of different options that create new options. So how do you do this, right? And we get lots of people asking, well, what do you mean by community? Like, what does that look like? Is that my mom? Is that my dog, my brother? What is it? Well, I think the keys are these, right? First and foremost, you certainly have friends and ex-colleagues. These are certainly great people to bring into your search, into the option building, if you will, because these are probably people that know you quite well, that know probably what you're capable of, maybe even some of the things that you're excited about. And of course, they also come with their own experience, and you probably trust them. And of course, you're going to want to bring in people that you trust. So if you trust friends and ex-colleagues, for sure, and maybe even current colleagues, if you have a really good relationship with them, bring them in to your discussions and have them help you create some options. Now, that's typically not good enough, right? You can do that, but you also may want to go a bit further. You may want to stretch yourself, which is foster some other communities that you're part of for current and future careers. So, for instance, places like LinkedIn, you could call all of your network connections part of a larger community. Now, you may want to, segment that down into smaller community groups, but there are plenty of people that you've probably met over the years that are, neither really close friends nor ex-colleagues or current colleagues, but are somehow loosely related to you and part of some community. That would be great to bring in because they come in with a whole different set of experiences and maybe positions and options in their heads, and they can help you sort of fill in some of that white space.
One of the things that, since we're talking about future careers and scopes of time, right, 5 and 10 years, and inventing and then reinventing, one of the points that I think, or one of the elements of this that communities are really good for, is investing early and often so that you have trusted relationships that can help you throughout your careers. One of the story that I like to tell, and I credit my early community with is the AIGA, the community for design, graphic design, and that was something that I um, got involved with early when I was in graphic design school, and I was a student representative, and I was there to kind of just to learn from other people, and eventually just sort of stuck around and met people and just kept showing up. And that's how you build these relationships. They're like, oh, this person, it's like I trust that they're there. They make, they're a colleague. They're someone that I connect with. And then as I continued my career, I was able to give back, and I would, use my talents and skills. I was able to facilitate a lecture series and host a conference. And those things are how I give back, but also build trust, but also build those relationships. And those people that I've met over the span of a 20-year career, they have now become people that have referred clients to me. They have become clients. They're potentially, I connected with a colleague of mine who now works at Airbnb, and I said, hey, do you want to pitch a panel to be on at South by Southwest, right? Like, this is like, you don't know where these people are, and where they're going to go, and better to be connected with more people in an authentic way than just to kind of the more people you have, I would say, the greater the scope and scale of who can help and where they are, and you're doing it. I guess the other piece that is now just sort of occurring to me as I'm talking is the authenticness of it. You don't want to go in, and Justin's going to talk about this in a second, which is you don't want to go in doing this for your own benefit, although it does invest in that. You want to, when I meet somebody, and I'm just a social butterfly, so it's easier for me. I want to meet people. I want to connect with people, and I don't know where it's going to go. When someone says, hey, do you want to meet somebody? You want to, connect to, it's like, oh, you should talk to this person. Absolutely. Always. And it's not, how can you help me, but how can I help you? And we're fellow travelers, and like, how do we do this? So that is, I think that's a really key piece of being authentic, because when someone's trying to like sell you on something, like when you get that blind LinkedIn message, you're like, hey, I saw you and I want to help, I want to like provide this service for you, and you're like, I know, right? But when it's someone that like makes sense, like there's a real reason for it, then I feel like I want to connect, and that's my methodology. I just want to meet a lot of people, and the more people, the better.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more. And, and not everyone's a social butterfly like you. So the other side of that coin, and you mentioned it, is even if you're not a social butterfly, even if you're sort of towards the introvert side of that scale, you should know people want to help one another. And if you're authentic, and even more so, if you go out there to create value first for your connections, and these are connections perhaps that are not your close friends or colleagues or ex-colleagues, but people that you think would be really valuable as part of your search and your optioneering. A way to do that and authentically is not just to go ask them something, but perhaps to start creating a warm connection by creating value for them first. I spoke with I can't remember his name, but I had a really good conversation with someone years ago that's sort of discussed, for instance, LinkedIn, and one of the core tenets of a huge community like that is finding ways to stay top of mind for people who really, that you trust on there, that really matter, that may in some future be able to do something really interesting or cool with you. And the way he discussed it was, hey, the way you do that is you sort of find the 10, the 100, the 20, whatever it is, people that you really respect on a place like LinkedIn, and then set a calendar entry for yourself that says, hey, find some content, on Mondays, every once a month or whatever, and send them some valuable content. Hey, I saw this article. I was thinking about you. I hope you can find it valuable. I thought it was really, really interesting, and definitely prompted me to think about some of the things you're doing. And that's it. You're not asking for anything. And when you do that, and you can create value before you ask for anything in return. When you do turn around and say, hey, would you ever consider XYZ coming and helping me, search for options for my career?
Yeah.
These are going to be people that turn around and say, absolutely. Hey, thank you so much for asking. I would love to do that. What days work for you? Right.
Or it's not just optioneering, but oh, there's someone that I know that you looks like you
Absolutely.
know. I get these requests all the time from
All the
colleagues.
time.
And I would say about 50% of the time I'm comfortable making that introduction. And
Right.
that's what you want to do is you want to develop these authentic
Right.
relationships. And what I would the what I was going to say, Justin, is that that sounds like a lot of work to do that, to find it's not just like a bulk spam of like, here's a thing.
Not.
It really requires a lot of effort, but honestly, so is going to lunch with folks. And so if you can find a way to, the more authentically, the more specific it is. And what I try to do, and I don't always do it, but if I run across something that I think Justin's going to like, I'm going to forward it to him, right? Or I'm going
Right.
to mention him on a post like, hey, check this out. And I'm just thinking about you. That's it. That's all it is. It's like, oh, I thought this thing was really interesting. And if you're always building that,
Right.
trying to get in front of people and considering, like I'm thinking about you, and you build those relations, you want those relationships before you need those relationships. You've got to
Yep.
make them. And so investing in that it's both, it's great because connecting with those people it provides value in the short, medium, and long term. And
Yep.
the longer you do it, the more value it creates for the short, medium, and long term. And I hadn't been doing it, and now it's like I started to reach out to some other folks, and I'm like, how come I haven't talked to this person in 2 years? It's ridiculous. We had a great conversation. I should
Right.
have been connecting with them, and that is such a powerful way to really grow and deepen your community of people that want to see you succeed, which is, I think, what you're part of what you're saying.
People want to help each other and see each other succeed. And that's also because they want to feel like they were part of that success. And they know that that will come back to them in one way, shape, or form in some imagined future. There's a great book that I've read called Never Search Alone by this guy, Phyl Terry. And he posits the same thing. In fact, he's got some really great tips for this about even asking people you don't know to sort of also form things like job search councils. The idea of a job search council in Phyl Terry's point of view is that while you could, here Josh and I are telling you, go find some people who can really help you with your optioneering for now and in the future, maybe even testability, connecting with other people. But you could also go find people who are like you that maybe you don't even really know today that are also in the same, job search, maybe even in the same area areas that you're looking for your future careers. And then you can come together and actually share some of this information, share what worked, what didn't work, options, things like that. And I think that's a really salient point that Phyl Terry makes. And of course, in all of this, the key is often not just asking people, hey, what job should I be looking at? I mean, you could definitely do that, but that you're going to fall short in what you're really trying to do. You want to intentionally go design and facilitate for your own success, right? And not just to share value, but also design and facilitate how people give you options. Maybe you're getting into a room and you're using Post-its. Maybe you're on Mural or Miro or something like that doing the same. But, basically bringing people together intentionally to do the same thing together to create and co-create more and more options. And in fact, even more so, you should use tools every chance you get, maybe even the same tools that we've talked about in this series. Bring those back to the fore with your job search council or the people that you've brought into this facilitated session together, and have them help to explode this even more, or fill in the white space, or provide context or examples or real careers that are out there that you can do more with. So I think that's it for this video. There's plenty more to say, and as always, I think Josh and I we can say a lot here. But I think from here out, we'll say that this is the end of this video, and you should expect more videos to come, and probably from some guests here next. So
That's right. That's what we're gonna try to launch a phase 2 of these for people who've actually gone through this, that have different experiences to share.
Right.
And as always, check out the DMBA. This is exactly the kind of work that we're helping our students do, all the time. It is a different kind of MBA program, one for creatives that are really interested in designing careers for themselves and for others.
There you go. Thanks very much, and have a
Thanks
nice
for
rest
watching,
of your day.
everybody.
Thanks, guys. Bye.